Welcome, everybody. I'm excited that you took a time out of your schedule to join us on our presentation, on our overview webinar tonight. What we're going to do, you've been invited here from a guest or a colleague, maybe a coworker, to take a look at what we have going on. And as we move forward into this, it might be something for you, it might be something not, and that's for you to decide. But I want to ask one of our members, one of our top leaders, Patrick Eger, if you can join me. I want to kind of introduce one of our leaders. Patrick, if I can pick on you for a minute, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about your background? Where do you live? What you do for a living? Kind of what your past is prior to joining us with Team All Outdoors and a Leisure Life.
Well, I live currently in Wisconsin, and I'm prior service. So I've in and out of the military. I grew an outfitter business and eventually a television show in the outdoors. And over time, I acquired a couple of smaller TV show names. And so now I've been in the television industry and the outfitter business for 17 years. Providing hunts all around the world.
Awesome.
That's it.
What are some of the types of hunts that you've been on, and kind of some of the things that you've been able to do in doing that as a profession?
Well, other than a polar bear, there is not much that I haven't hunted. Most everything that I've hunted has been with a bow. So I have hunted Africa, big 5 animals. I've hunted New Zealand. I've hunted just about everything there is in the lower 48. So I do quite a bit of traveling in an effort to promote good outfitters and good locations for people to go and experience a good time. Awesome.
Thanks for sharing that. Tell us a little bit about how you were introduced to a Leisure Life and Team All Outdoors and that experience.
You want me to tell the whole story?
Not that much, just share with us what you want our listeners to know about how you were involved, kind of what your thoughts were about the program, and prior to going.
When I was first approached, I was very skeptical, like most people are, and I actually hung the phone up on Mary and JR a couple of times, and eventually I sat down and listened, and when I realized that this was the first time that I'd ever heard of any kind of network marketing or any kind of travel group that catered to people in the outdoors and also had all the great stuff that we do with travel, had all the products and gear, that finally I had something that I shared in common with the clientele that I run into at trade shows and the people that I'm already working with on a day-to-day basis.
So as our listeners kind of take a look at that, they might be able to relate a little bit, where somebody calls them, sends them a message, has them watch some videos, and they kind of shut it down right at the get-go. But what changed for you to see the connection, how this can actually be a viable business, the business model actually works? What changed for you to make that connection, to want to get signed up and get started?
Well, again, like I said, when I actually was explained how Team All Outdoors and Leisure Life works together, and how Leisure Life's plan and their comp plan worked, and then I started looking at the product itself and realizing that there was actually a product here that made sense. It made sense to me as an outfitter, it made sense to other outfitters, it makes sense to people with hunting products, and it makes sense to the end user, the hunter. And so I thought I'd give it a try, and so I did. And I signed up, my son signed up, and we experienced some of the frustrations that a lot of folks do in the very beginning. But thankfully, we had some good leaders behind the program that actually stayed with it, showed us how things worked, and we figured it out. And I right now, when I sign folks up, I actually tell them that at one point or another, they will experience a time that they want to throw their hands up and give up. But once they figure out the system and figure out how it works, it's all downhill from there.
Thanks for sharing that with us. Tell us a little bit about what you and your son have been able to accomplish in a few short months. You've been in with the Leisure Life and Team Outdoors for several months, and what are the successes? What are the struggles that you've encountered and that you've seen along the way?
Well, in the very beginning, we went out and we thought we would take the easy route, Case, and actually we went out and tried to just sign up $20 members. And we thought it'd be easier to ask people for $20 than anything else. And we got a lot of folks in. And we did not study the comp plan. We did not look at how we were supposed to position folks and how we should have been helping the people below us. And I then went off to Africa for a little while, and when I came back, I had a lot of frustrated people. And that's about the time that I got on the phone with you and Brian, and JR and Mary came over and sat down and worked with me, and we actually, it was very obvious, it was black and white, exactly what we did wrong was on our end. And we fixed our structure. We started explaining things better to people. And we have been in this now, I think, 10 months. And my son and I are both Pro 2. So is my son-in-law, Wayne, is approaching Pro 2 now, especially with the new program that we have. So you can, this isn't to win $1 million lottery ticket. You have to do some work and you have to do some studying, but it's still better work than going to a factory or working on a farm or whatever you might be doing in life. It's very easy to do, and you can make a very good income doing it, and an honest income as well.
Well, Patrick, I wanted to interview you for a little bit for the first handful of minutes as we got this call and webinar started, to get a chance for our listeners to be able to hear a story, hear somebody that they might see around if they're in the outfitting business or in the outdoors industry, but also for other listeners that they can this isn't the type of business where somebody's going to promise you a jillion in a jiffy. It takes a little bit of work. And as you and your son and your son-in-law have decided to start building, we're going to go into a little bit of an overview of the company here in a minute, so people will actually see what a Pro 2 and that type of income does. But share with us some of those things of what does that additional income do? You obviously have a very successful business. People see you within that industry. But the extra income that comes in on a residual basis, what has that been like for you and what you've seen within your family?
Well, for myself, most everything that I do is to continue to build our company. And so I can elaborate on a couple of different things. For myself, anybody that's in a television business, unless you got lucky and you happen to be connected to the Realtree people or Lee and Tiffany or someone like that, people that are trying or aspiring to get a TV show or trying to get something going are going to have a hard time finding sponsors. This enabled us to be able to sponsor our own television show, pay for editing, pay for airtime, and pay for things that free up other resources for us on my end. And it's helped quite a bit on that perspective. My son, a few years back, we decided to stop running outfitter ranches ourselves and just work with other outfitters. And when we did that and we restructured the company, my son had to go take a job at one of the local cheese factories. So he is an actual cheesehead. So then when that happened, he has to work nights, and he now has a wife and a new baby and all that kind of stuff. Having a Pro 2 income coming in is just about got him to the point that he will be working with Team All Outdoors and Biggie Outdoors full time, and will not have to work all night long at a cheese factory. It's bettered his lifestyle considerably. So you have two different kinds of income there. You have the income that has been helping us get some good disposable income on my end, and you also have my son who has been able to turn Team All Outdoors into a career, and he will make his income by working with Leisure Life and Team All Outdoors. My son-in-law is an outfitter in South Africa. South Africa's economy is quite a bit different than ours, and he married my daughter and moved to the United States and realized that South African money doesn't go far here. So his income actually provides for his entire family, which would be my daughter and the two children. So in 10 months, this has changed 3 families' lives just with some serious work. I mean, we pay attention to it, but at the same time, we have not spent the amount of time doing Leisure Life and Team All Outdoors that we would at a normal 9-to-5 job. So as it grows and we can even put more time in it, you can only imagine how much it will grow from there. Did I lose you?
No, thanks for sharing that, Patrick. That as we kind of segue into this formal presentation part, that leaves me with one kind of last question for you. As you kind of set us up for that, what in the beginning, everybody's asked the type of question, well, how much time do you have to put into it? Explain the difference between what you have now as your team has grown and the time that you put into it versus when you were brand new and the time and energy that you put into it when you were brand new. How has those changed, and what does that look like?
Well, when we were brand new, we mentioned it to folks. We sent out, emails and Facebook messages to our friends and family, and I want to say that, we spent a few hours a week, maybe. We didn't really put a lot of effort into it. I did go on the road and have to work with some of my pro staff folks, but I would have been going on the road with them anyway. Now we probably, I would say that I dedicate 2 to 3 hours a day minimum to Team All Outdoors. Brandon is probably a little less than that. He doesn't do it every day, but there's an effort that has to be put into it. When you lay it out and you outline your time and spend your time wisely in the evenings, making calls, making follow-ups, you can get a lot done in a shorter period of time. So as you grow into it and make more money, obviously you probably will want to allot more time because you'll start seeing the benefits, and your return on your time is going to be better spent working your downline and working Leisure Life and helping the folks under you. And if I can slip something else in there, one of the things that we learned real quick was the fastest way to get things going was to stop thinking about yourself. And after we got going, and especially after we came back from South Africa and we experienced our little bit of troubles and we relearned the system and we actually opened the comp plan and actually read it, once we learned all that, we realized that the best thing that you can do is keep working with the people that you get signed up and that they get signed up, and start helping people get their U31, which you guys will explain shortly. The more people you can help get to that first step, the rest falls into place. So it's not that difficult. It's not something you have to sit there and try to map this thing out and figure it out. It's simply helping all the people that come into your program and helping them work with the people that came into their program to build their U31 and get to their first bonus level, and the rest will fall into place.
Patrick, thanks so much for taking the time to share with us your experience and your, what it's been able to do for you. We appreciate you. We value the time and effort that you've put into your business. Now let's shift gears, everybody. Let me kind of wrap this up as we move into kind of a formal presentation of what this is with Team All Outdoors and a Leisure Life, and how this moves forward. What Patrick's been able to generate, as you just heard, his experience. he's been able to generate not only just an additional business, and he mentioned Pro 2, and I'll show you what that means, but it's an asset. That asset actually has value. That's worth actual money in the bank from an asset value. That's a residual income. In a handful of months, what he's not only been able to do, but also his son and his brother-in-law, is be able to build a $500,000 asset. Think about it. If you took a $500,000, times it by 5% of an interest, or a return rate, what you're going to get out is about $2,000 a month, or about $25,000 a year. So think about what that asset value is actually worth as we move on and move through this. What is a leisure life, and what is this program that you've been invited to take a look at? Okay, let me talk to you about 5 different things. We're going to talk about market trends. We're going to talk about our products and services. We're going to talk a little bit about who we are as a company, give you a broader overview. We're going to talk a little bit about how this money actually works and plays into the asset value and into your lifestyle. And then we're going to talk about the timing and the window that you have. The 4 trends that I want to talk on are the travel and vacation industry. Think about the travel and vacation industry. It's almost an $8 billion or trillion-dollar industry globally. So anything from rental cars, hotels, resorts, condos, packages, anything to do with that tourism and vacation. It's a massive global industry. Then I want to bring it a little bit more home and domestic. These next 3 industries, hunting and fishing, just domestically in the United States alone, almost 40% of the population, 90 million people participate in it. It's a $145 billion industry. Put into perspective, the NFL is a $9 billion industry. The music industry is a $16 billion industry. Movies, the cinema, is an $80 billion industry. So hunting and fishing alone is bigger than the ones that I've already named. Okay, then let's move into the outdoors and recreation industry. Think about ATVs or side-by-sides, hiking and camping, and the equipment and all that stuff that comes in to play within that industry. That's another $55 billion industry. And then let's go into the online shopping. Online shopping in just the United States has almost 200 million consumers, and the average amount of money spent is just shy of $150 a month. That means people are buying anything from personal care, cosmetics, to electronics, to clothing, apparel, the online shopping. It's a $345 billion industry. Now, these industries are rapidly growing, okay? And how does this play into you? Because the economic potential of your business is ultimately the economic potential of your product, good, or service. So why would you want to participate in a product, good, or service that's in a dying or eroding industry? It's like swimming upstream in a river. It's harder to go upstream than it is to go downstream with the current or with the growth of those industries. Okay, so what our product as a leisure life is it's a membership designed around all 4 of those industries: the vacation industry, the hunting and fishing industry, the outdoor recreation industry, the online shopping industry. So what that does is it gives you complete control over how you participate in them and when you participate in them. So why would you want to use our monthly membership? Why would you want to become a customer, first of all? There's all this value of why you'd want to do a business project, but why would you want to be a customer, first of all? Because it gives you complete customization over what you want. You get to pick the discounts. You get to pick when and where. You get to pick the time that you are able to do that. So that means that you can put a lot more time with those that you love, a lot more vacations, a lot more time being able to do the things that you like doing, because you're going to participate in them anyways. Number 2, the reason why you'd want to be a member of our membership is the products and services. Okay, our maximum product monthly membership is only $99 a month at our highest package, and we'll talk a little bit about what you get with that. And the 3rd reason is for its convenient. It's simple. It's easy. It's your fingertips at any given time. So let me give you a couple of these highlights of what our products and services are. At any given time, over 200,000 different resorts and condos around the world. The difference between a normal hotel room or a resort or condo is that you actually have a fully furnished living room. You've got a separate bathroom. You've got a kitchen. You've got dining room. You've got balcony spaces. Not everybody's crammed into the little hotel room where your coffee maker and you're brushing your teeth out of the same thing. You got access to to millions of different hotel rooms all over the world. So this is not just domestic. If you want to go and travel abroad, Patrick talked a little bit about going to South Africa and being all over the world. You want to be able to enjoy those hotel rooms at incredibly high discounts. Cruises, excursions, snowmobiling trips, skiing trips, online merchandising. You want to be able to buy discount of a clothing, apparel, high-end, name brand merchandising. Okay, fishing, hunting, campgrounds around the world, and at a price match guarantee, which means you're not going to find it at a lowest price. And if you do, we match it or reimburse you 100 to 200% of that price. Here's some of the highlights that you'll see within the travel portal. These are actual clippings of some of our actual member portal. This is what you'd see if you were into our back office right now. You'd be able to get an entire week, over in Nevada or Washington up the coast. Some, maybe be up in Utah. Or what about going up to Canada for an entire week for $155 for the entire, the whole condo? That can be a studio all the way up to a 4-bedroom condo. And you've got the entire room for a whole week at those prices. $155 a week. It's unheard of. What about cruises or recreation? You want to go to a concert. You want to listen to Garth Brooks or Blake Shelton. You want to go get your favorite sports team and get these tickets, or outdoor recreation or excursions. What if you're out there already playing or on vacation, or you don't even want to leave town? You just want to have access to these types of things. What about a cruise, a Disney cruise down to the Bahamas for as little as $122 per night for an individual? What about online shopping and merchandising? Things like cell phone cases, sunglasses, handbags, electronics, clothing, apparel at significant discount prices. You see on the screen what you'll be seeing is that rewards cash. So that's the retail price of what you'd pay or any other website online, but you can credit our rewards cash. That's the benefit of being a member within our service, and you can credit that towards the price. So in some cases, you're getting a discount, of $100 to $200 on that item, and the items vary based upon what the item is within our portal. You want to have guided hunts or guided fishing tours. All of that is within our membership portal. So it's an incredibly diverse and versatile membership that what you're getting. So let's move on to the third aspect, who we are as a company. Company is a leisure life. They're a debt-free organization, incredibly profitable, and founded in 2012 by 3 individuals that were a part of an organization that was bought out for over $1 billion within the travel and recreation space. So between the executive and leadership team, there's over 160 years of experience, and that previous experience was doing over $1 billion in revenue. So this is not some fly-by-night thing that we're trying to figure out along the way. We know what we're doing. Our CMO, Brian Hafen, has ran organizations with a marketing budget of over $400 million. Myself, we've been able to build organizations and generate over $150 million and generate dozens and dozens of people creating 6- and 7-figure incomes around the globe. Let's move on to what Patrick was talking about the compensation and what that means for you. Okay. When you become a member, that's called a customer. You can get your free customer account, try it out for your first 30 days. But if you want to upgrade that to an affiliate and get the ability to resell and market and get commission off of referrals, and that's how Uber or DirecTV or Dropbox, you get a commission when somebody that you referred becomes a member. Well, this is an ongoing. So this, from day one, you're going to get customer acquisition bonuses. As you see on that graphic, those bonuses are going to start out fairly high and constantly grow. But as you're building this residual income, that's that Pro 2 type income that Patrick was talking about. As that income takes time to build, it starts to grow, and over time, it completely surpasses the amount of referral or customer acquisition bonuses that you're generating, and you can completely live off of it. Okay, but let me bring your eyes to what you see on the screen, the tax advantages. You're actually setting up a business. It's actually an asset, and this asset has staggering tax advantages. Okay, the residual income of that starts to create an income that it's not like linear income, trading time for dollars. You create a commission check, and that person pays a membership every single month. Well, that membership creates revenue to the company. The company pays that back to you every single month that is on the books. So it's a residual income. It's not like trading time for money. You do work one time, you get paid one time. You don't do the work, you don't get paid. So it starts to generate some significant residual income. Let's look at what that looks like. The first incentive bonus that we have to help you as you boost that residual income is called the monthly U3 incentive. For every time you refer some 3 individuals within a calendar month or your first 30 days if you're brand new, you'll get an additional up to $110 bonus based upon the average of what those 3 individuals come in at. So that starts to grow every single month. You can start making hundreds of dollars right out of the get-go. Let me bring your eyes to what Patrick mentioned as the U31. Okay, this U31, helping your individuals start to refer people themselves. It's really hard to be successful when you're an incredibly selfish individual. So this business might not be for you if you're selfish and all about what you can get. It's helping others to succeed as well. And you can make up to a $400 a month residual income, residual bonus. So think about that in form of an asset. That residual income is around $100,000 of residual income or an asset. Why? If you took $100,000 and stuck it in the bank, times that return by, say, 5%, or asset value of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or equities, that residual income is worth $100,000 in the bank or whatever of equal value. How long would it take you to save that, let alone earn and generate it in a traditional way of making money? So that residual income is powerful. Up to $400 a month, you can do with it what you want. That next incentive, and as residual income grows, is the U33 monthly incentive. As you help your team to grow and there's more volume coming in, that bonus increases to up to $1,300 a month. You can see our compensation plan for more details about how these bonuses actually take place and how you earn them. But for using that structure of a U33, for an example, you'd refer 3 individuals to participate in the business program with you. They're using the monthly membership, getting discounts on their activities of what they're choosing to do, and they've referred 3 individuals. And when you have a total billing volume required, you're going to have a $1,300 a month residual income. Think about that. That's more than a $250,000 asset. You'd need to have $250,000 in the bank, stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, or equities, or the real estate actual value, the equity value, not just what what it's worth, owned free and clear at 5% interest to be paying you a $1,300 a month residual income. So that's a powerful way of generating income. Let's move through the rest of the compensation plan fairly quickly. What we talked about was with Patrick, and in just several months, he was able to generate a Pro 2 income. That's an extra $2,100 a month in residual income. That's almost a $500,000 asset. That's almost worth $500,000 sitting in the bank. If you actually did the math, $480,000 times 5% interest gives you $2,000 in residual income. And yet he's making more than that. So that's a powerful way. He's been able to help his son to do that. He's been able to help his brother-in-law to generate a U33 commission check. So this happens, and there are lots of people that are generating this type of income in relatively few short months. Okay, Pro 4, let me go back. Pro 4 is up to $5,000 a month. Pro 6 is up to $10,000 a month for generating a business and an asset value. Think about that. Pro 4, the asset value of a Pro 4 business is worth $1.2 million in asset value. How long would it take you to save, let alone earn $1.2 million? How long would it take you to save 1.4 or 2.4 million to generate a $10,000 a month residual income, an asset value? This is a staggering type of income, you guys. As we wrap up this call tonight, we thank you and value and appreciate your time. But this Rogers curve is what you see, the customer adaptation, okay, the diffusion of innovation. When a product or service enters the marketplace, what you're going to see is about 16 million 16% of those people, these innovators and early adopters, those are the people that get it. And that gives you a little over 130 million households just domestically in the United States. So if you take the 16% of that, that's going to be 21 million households. That's what's called our high probability market. That the high probability market means that those people that they're looking for what we have, they're open to what we have. Those people are the innovators and early adapters that they want to be a part of what we're doing. If we closed 1 out of 10 of those individuals, if you shared this with 10 people, and 1 out of those 10 said, yeah, I want to do that. I want to do that with you. That would mean that you'd see over 2 million people in the next several months to a few short years getting involved with a leisure life in this program at just 10% of a closing ratio. How are you going to go out and generate all of those individuals and all of those people? It's through our All 7 training system. See, there's a pre-programmed way for you to succeed and generate the type of income that Patrick and his son and son-in-law were able to do is by following a system, following a set of series of how to do this the right way, how to do it so it's not a deck of cards or a house of cards that will fall and crumble. How do you build it so that it will last forever? It's the same way whether you're focused on people like Patrick that are in the outdoors and outfitters and they love to hunt and fish, as if it would be people that like to shop online or stick their toes in the sand. Because you're building an asset. And that asset, if you want it to operate forever based upon a system so that you can eventually spend more time doing the things that you want to do. There's a huge reason of why our system is so successful is it allows you to get more time. Some of the people that say, I don't have the time to do this or I'm so busy, I pity those people because they haven't learned how to use a system yet. Because everything that they do is dependent upon them. And when they put in time and effort, they generate an income. If they don't put a time and effort into it, they don't generate an income or their business doesn't grow. So the system is a pre-programmed way for you to succeed. As we close this out today, we've been doing this for 4 years. We've been doing this for 4 years. There are hundreds and hundreds of people that have joined in the last several months, and there will be hundreds and thousands more. So if you decide to be a part of this, we welcome you. We're excited to have you a part of our team, okay? Because this is happening with or without you. This call's been happening for months prior to you even being invited, and it will continue to happen for months and years after you decide whether to be a part of this or not. But let me bring your attention to the graphic. That graphic that you're seeing here tonight, you guys, is if you take advantage of this now, you get advantage of that window of opportunity, that timing, okay? That timing. But if you start later, say you decide to look more into it, and that's fine, get more questions asked, and that investigation process takes 3 weeks, 6 weeks. What about a month? What about 3 months? It doesn't matter. Between now and then, that timetable is what's called the lost opportunity. You can never get that timetable back. Robert Schuller says that it's foolish to take risks without opportunity. But opportunity, it's foolish to have an opportunity without any risk. Think about that for a little bit. What opportunities are never lost because somebody will take advantage of them. So are you that somebody? Are you that next person that wants to be generating an extra $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month residual income? Because if you are, we want to welcome you to our program and take advantage of what we have today. You guys, I appreciate your time and attention for coming to this webinar tonight. Get with the individuals who shared this with you because we're moving on and we're excited to have you a part of this. So we will see you around the different meetings and events that we have going on all over the country. But this webinar is now officially over. Thanks so much, you guys. Have a great night.